What's good, everybody? It's Bro Hamza, and today, guys, I'm coming to you with a brand new video. But before we get into that, guys, please go and leave a like on this video. Let's try and get 3 likes on this video. I know 3's asking for a lot, guys, but trust me, I believe in you guys. Anyways, subscribe if you have not already, and check out all the links. I got my Discord. I'm not really active in there, but I'm trying to be, so please go ahead and join to help me. And of course, my Instagram as well. I'll be doing giveaways, all sorts of things, so please go ahead and check all the links down below, guys. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. Alright, guys, so now we are getting into the deck file. Now I know you guys see, you got my little camera over here. You feel me? And then we have the other thing over here. I'm trying to upgrade my content, guys. I posted this on my Instagram, so please go ahead and check that out as well. But again, guys, I think that this is just better when I'm doing kind of deck profiles. Maybe I could do card openings as well for you guys, because I feel like it's more interactive. You can see my lovely hands, you can see my beautiful face, I can see yours, we could talk, you feel me? So anyways, starting with deck profile, guys, of course it's gonna be a super generic deck profile. It is my second place deck profile that I got. So of course, what is a warrior deck profile without connector? Now again, if you are playing some sort of warrior deck and you are not playing connector, you are trolling. Anyways, literally, like I always say, anytime I resolve this card, it's crazy. There's that Renaud combo as well. I can show you if you guys are interested. A lot of people have been asking. There's that Renaud combo. Connector went absolutely stupid for me when he resolved. Even when he was summoned, forcing hand traps and being able to continue playing is crazy. In my last round, my opponent actually had Phantasme, he had Nibiru, he had Brand Diffusion, he had like Fenrir or something else. Sorry, there's something in my eye. But yeah, so that all happened. And essentially, because I connected and I saw his hand, I knew I could do the Nibiru route, which I will showcase later on. But again, connector just crazy. A lot of people kind of get like mauled and get super salty when I resolve connector. But I mean, you're playing unfair cards in your deck, so why can't I? So connector is connector, man. This guy's crazy. Like I love connector, bro. He doesn't make any sense. But moving on, guys, we are rocking triple Ogier, Infernoble dude. Listen, I thought about cutting this card and putting it to 2. On second thought, actually, that was a really bad idea. I don't know why I was thinking that. 3 Ogiers, like, you want to open this card no matter what, because Heritage of the Chalice can search Museum, right? So you have so many ways of getting to your other cards. Like, why would I use Heritage of Chalice to search Renaud when I can get Museum, and then Museum can get Durndal, and then Durndal can get Renaud, and I get full combo? You know what I mean? So again, playing triple Ogier is really good. Maybe moving on with like the Diabell Star and everything, you probably don't play 3, you play like 1 or 2, but currently second best normal summon of the deck. Any hands that I had Ogier, especially like going second, was really good because Ogier forced a lot. Also, like the super niche interaction of like banishing to summon Ogier from hand is crazy. And then of course pairing on Ogier, whatever. I'm gonna call him Ogier, you feel me? So that's how it should be. IER in French, or French cards is Ogier, so it should be Ogier. And then we're playing triple Infernoble Knight Renaud. Renaud is crazy. There's some insane interactions, but again, Renaud is nice. The only downside is you need a Fire Warrior. So that's why I was saying that Ogier is a little better than Connector post side, because Connector is never resolving. But you go ahead and you go Renaud special summon here, and then you can full combo. Renaud being a level 1 monster is really good as well. Being a level 1 tuner, being able to summon it off his hold post like turn 1, 2, 3, like in the grind game, is really important as well. Yes, this deck does get into the grind game potentially, depending on how many cards your opponent sides in. So being able to understand that and kind of manipulating around is really good. I only had 1 loss. I was 4-1. I came second place. I lost in a pretty dumb way because I was trying to play around like multiple cards. I'll explain it later on. But yeah, so that was it for like the main guys. And then of course, let me just put these guys here so you guys can still see them. So then moving on from that, guys, we are playing double Oliver. Now Oliver is like in a weird spot in my opinion, because like I want to play 3 of this card because I love opening this card. Another important thing about this deck is, if you know, like, you don't have a lot of level 4 extenders, you only have level 1 extenders, and all the level 1 extenders are tuners, so that's an issue in the deck. So that's why I decided not to play 3. I'm still sticking by 2 logically. Post side, Oliver almost always comes out and I just drop him to 1. I keep my French copy also. But yeah, post side, I would take 1 out for sure and just kind of like see how I feel, you know what I mean? But that's it for that. And then we played the 1 Gearfried, because Gearfried's the god card, honestly. There's some insane interaction. I'm about to explain it when I talk about another card. But Gearfried is just Gearfried. This is like, the Infernoble engine doesn't break a lot of boards, but it helps climb into problematic monsters that do. Gearfried's one of them. Gearfried being able to have generic access through any of these cards is nasty. Like Oliver, discard Gearfried, Renaud special summon, add back, link 2, you know what I mean? So as long as Gearfried's in your hand, it's got this looming threat, so you just have to force your opponent to hold negates. And then sometimes they forget, like, oh wait, this guy's monsters are up 500 because of the Museum, and he's just absolutely gonna dome me. So that's that. And then let me move these cards up for you guys as well. I just want to keep them here because it looks a little nicer. And then we're playing the 1 Richardetto. If you guys don't know Richardetto, he's insane. Another effect that I've been using a lot more is, especially going second, is banishing Richardetto from hand or grave and then summoning a monster from your hand, which is a lot powerful because you're not using a normal summon. It's a little niche interaction that you guys should really understand, especially when you're going second. And then we have Turpin as well. Turpin is really good in what he does, because I mean, he's a mandatory. Opening him was really nice, honestly, but whatever. So that's it for those guys. And then let me just clean this up for you guys real quick. I'm just gonna move these off the screen actually, like this and like this for you guys. Cool. Let me put them over here. And then we are playing the one Malgus. Now this card, it's really underwhelming for me, honestly. I sided out a lot. I really needed it to draw me into a good card against my branded matchup, and it didn't. Unfortunately, I was trying to fish for an Ash. I went through so many cards, I didn't draw it, so I'm really disappointed in him. But normally he holds me down, so you know what I mean, I'm not going to cut him too much. But yeah, so Malgus is really good. It's an easy side out as well, honestly. Being a level 4 is nice. I wish you were an extender. Speaking of extender, we are still playing the one Astolfo, one Alfonso. And now listen, guys, okay? Listen, if you guys are not yet on the Astolfo sauce, please be on Astolfo. There's so many nasty plays you can do. For example, one, Astolfo banished Malgus that Isolde added. Go into Astolfo. Now Astolfo is your level 4 extender, right? Because you have Renaud, you have Oliver, you have Richard Edo, you have all these level 1 tuners that can extend. Astolfo being a level 4 or level 1 is even better, right? But also, I did this, and this was a crazy play, right? So, let's say I have Gearfried and I have Renaud, right? The craziest play that I did is post side, and this is why I'm saying the grind game is really important in this deck and understanding it, is this was my hand, okay? And I have a Gearfried in my graveyard. I went Astolfo effect to banish the Gearfried, special summon out Astolfo, and then I go Astolfo, I'm going to change the level of Astolfo into Gearfried. So now Astolfo becomes a level 9 monster, right? Okay, now watch this. Now I go special Renaud effect to target my Gearfried that's banished. There's like literally no way your opponent can interact with the Gearfried in graveyard, be it shufflers, things of that nature, so they have to negate Renaud. And then I'm like, you know what, I'm going to grab this guy. Then you can synchro these two because it's a 9 and a 1 into a Baron. Now you have a Baron on board. And then you drop the Gearfried. And now you have a 3k monster that can pop a card that can negate. You have a Gearfried who can attack, suck a monster up, and then attack, and then you have a negate as well. So in the grind game, it's really crazy. And then you also have the second Astolfo effect where you can just banish Astolfo. And then in the second standby phase, you can reborn. It actually comes up as well. Another thing about Astolfo, what I really like, is you can always declare. So once you declare Astolfo, you can be like, okay, in 2 standby phases, I can summon his health back, and then like a banish or graveyard warrior. Then on your first standby phase, you say, okay, one more standby phase left on Astolfo. Now it's putting pressure on your opponent because they don't know what you're gonna reborn. Usually I'll summon back like this and like a Gearfried, or this and like an extra deck monster, because then I can just go into like a quick link play, things of that nature. So again, Astolfo's really good. Like, please be on Astolfo, at least test it if you're gonna shoot it down, you know what I mean? But then of course you are playing the one Fireflintly as the final extender. Not on Red Layer right now, although Red Layer is nice because I can kind of get around without having to do my normal summon. But I mean, I might test it next week just to let you guys know. But then of course for the hand traps, we're just rocking triple Ash Blossom. Again, with the ban list, hand traps get a little better. Ash Blossom is just really good because there's all sorts of cards that are going to be, or sorry, decks that are going to be coming up in the next format. So I wanted to play triple Ash Blossom because it covers a lot of the rogue matchups. Ash Blossom against Brandeds and FTK, Ashing Rescue Ace Emergencies and FTK, Ashing any of like the unchained traps in the graveyard forces them to open a little better. So I mean, there's that as well. Ash is just a really good card. I was hoping I'd draw this off of Malgus, but I didn't, unfortunately, but it's fine, honestly. Like, Malgus did his thing. But then that's for the monsters, guys. And then moving on to the spells, of course, you are playing triple Noble Arms Museum. One thing to note, guys, is again, if you feel like you're going to go into time, probably side out one of these or two of these because you don't really need the extender. You just need to make a sticky board and prevent your opponent playing, so playing more reserved. I almost went into time in my last round matchup, or I did actually, and I was forced to kind of like push through a big board, which I did because I went Super Saiyan and I'm him. But again, Museum's crazy. Make sure you use the first, or you can't use the second. And make sure you have the Eclipse, honestly. So make sure you keep at least like one Durandal for the grinding, because you actually want to be able to recur this card. So it's really good. And then when you have like Heritage and things of that nature, just Heritage from the graveyard, because you need to use the first to use the second, right? So that's that. And then we also play for consistency, or not consistency, sorry, for the Noble Arms Museum's targets. We have the triple Durandal. Again, this card's just crazy, right? And then we have the one Joyas, the one Almace as well. So that's it for the kind of Noble Arms Equip spells. Again, Durandal, Eroder is really good. Durandal technically makes Red Layer better because you can just like special summon Red Layer. And then we have the Almace, of course. And then, of course, we have the Divine Sword and the DDR. So let me move these cards because I actually have like something quick to say about these two. So depending on how Angel Ring works and what happens, you don't need to play the DDR because you want to play the Angel Ring, right? The only issue is no way in hell do you cut the Divine Sword. So that's where I was saying that if Divine Sword ends up getting banned, like let's just say this card's banned, then we can cut these and just play the Angel Ring, and then this DDR doesn't become DDR, it becomes Living Fossil, and then that's a quick kind of fix we can do, right? And I'll have deck profiles, combos, things of that nature. So you know, hit that subscribe button, you feel me? So smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, like that smash button, all of that, turn on notifications, whatever. But that's it for those guys. And then we are playing triple Heritage of the Chalice. This card's crazy. Being able to add from graveyard is crazier too, because that's how you play around Droll, okay? So one little cool thing, I noticed that a lot of people were saying in my combo video that I didn't play around Droll and Awkward. There's a really cool interaction where if you have like Ogier and Renaud, right? I can go normal summon Ogier, and then like for example, like whatever, I go heritage, like say I'm drolled when I go like Rhoda. So I Rhoda into this, I can go normal summon Ogier. Now Ogier can go ahead and dump anything I want, right? Then I can go special summon Renaud, add back, or I can do normal summon Ogier here, dump a card, then activate heritage to get the card from my graveyard to the hand, right? So it's cute little interactions where you can play around like drone lockbird and annoying hand traps and things of that nature. But again, we played the one Rhoda to pair up with the consistency cards. And then I know the deck looks kind of the same, but I did make some slight changes. So my go seconds now are triple imperm, so of course there are triple imperm. I'm still playing double talents. This card's a god card, like this card's crazy, and I'm playing double Book of Moon. So for my non-engine, or sorry, not my non-engine, but like I guess you could say my go second cards, and I was playing triple Ash Blossom. So I wanted more go second cards because I was afraid of like a lot of like the crazy combo decks and stuff like that, because I just want to be able to have generic coverage. So again, imperm is really good. So I'm a firm believer in like the 6 cards better. My little brother put me on that. So I was kind of like rocking like this, right? So I'm playing 3, 6, 9, 10, go second and 40, so it's really good. I like the number a lot. Or no, sorry, I'm 42 now, because I like that number a lot. Triple imperm is really good because as a 5th card like in your hand of 5, it's really good because you can interact. Majority of times I like to hold it to bait and negate. Again, Caesar is what this deck struggles with the most, so you want to stop Caesar no matter what. So that's really good. Ash Blossom, just really good generic cards as well. And of course, my side patterns work really well with this as well. So I have Ash Blossom and Imperm to deal with like generic stuff. Then we have Talents, which is like a god card. Literally, I stole my opponent's Chimera at the end of the last round, and I was just be able to like play through it. Talents helps you steal a lot of monsters to kind of OTK. Also helps you draw when you get annoyed in hand traps. And then ripping cards from my opponent's hand after they hand trap you, and you can still play through it, is really good as well. And then we have the double Book of Moon. So Book of Moon was my flex spot. I didn't know what I wanted to play. It could have been Nib for like more targeted hate for like Unchained, things of that nature. But ever since Pack and Cotton released that video about the combos, a lot of players are starting to play around Nib a lot better, which is good. Of course, competition is a little better. So Book of Moon helps with purely, it helps with Caesar, helps with other problematic boards, especially because there's not a lot of what you call like not a lot of untargetable monsters or kind of like Omni negates. So like Book of Moon's a little better there. Going forward though with this list, maybe I would cut Book of Moons for like more target hit. Maybe I play a third Talents and like something else, or maybe like a Thrust. I don't have Thrust. I personally wouldn't play Thrust in the main either, outside it. But that's it for 42, guys. And then moving on into the extra deck. Let's do the extra deck first. I completely forgot Static last time. So again, Trusky's Mouse Fighter is the reason why I do everything, because I power through it. And Trusky is the reason why I believe that I'm capable of doing anything I put my mind to. But again, just real quick, we got the Link monsters. These cards are absolutely cracked. Like, I don't know what's up with Konami for printing these cards, but thank you for that. Then we have the double Isolde, of course, play 2. My Isolde always gets impermed. Like, my round 1, I went like summon Isolde effect to search. He's like, what does it do? So I explained it, of course, because I'm not a chat. I go Isolde's effect. Its first effect is on summon, I can add a card, but I can't use that card or summon it. Second effect is mill its cost. So I go Isolde effect. They're like, oh, you know what? He used 2 cards. Like, let's just imperm it. They imperm. I just go Fire Flint Lady, go into Isolde, second Isolde, continue to play. Fiery Flame Swordsman, Ferocious Flame Swordsman. Really good. You have to play, especially with the Ibli lock now. It's a generic link, right? It says 2 monsters with different names, so it's just really easy to link the Ibli away and continue playing. Like, you don't really care. Your deck's all normal summons, and then you can keep extending. Another cool interaction with Ferocious Flame Swordsman, I'm sure you guys know it, and I could be waffling, but it's this. So let's go ahead here. This is my favorite interaction to do, is you go Ferocious Flame Swordsman, attack, crash, damage step, effect, summon back Gearfried, Gearfried attack, damage step, suck a monster and attack, right? So it's really good in that regard. He's like a charmer, but he's like a roided up charmer because he summons instead. And then we have the one Daddy Reten. Reten's crazy, man. When I have this card and my opponent like needs to enter battle phase to out like problematic monsters, they can't, because Reten's just gonna pop you. And then being able to just like in time or something like that, like chump block, is really good. I don't go into time, so I don't really care, but Power Logo is really good. He's a good contingency plan. He's a good little like popper. You can play access code as well. He just works under the warrior restriction, so it's pretty good in that regard. And skill drain. I mean, people are like, oh, access code can banish this card under skill drain and pop, but you need to understand that access code under skill drain can only pop 1 card. Power Logan can contribute and pop 4 cards, bro. Like, what are you saying? But that's it for that. And then we have the one Appaloosa, shout out Ben. This card went absolutely crazy for me. So basically, this is what I was saying. My last matchup was a Brandon matchup. I went normal summon connector. I'm like, let me see your hand. I see his hand. It's got Phantasme Nib. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But you know what's crazier? I have Appaloosa. So I do the connector combo. The connector combo ends up going Appaloosa first, and then you can combo under it. So I just have the Appaloosa the whole time. And I end on Appaloosa for 3. I end up on a Gearfried, and I end up on a Charles Link monster. So it's really good in that regard. Appaloosa went in, like, a lot of the times I would just make an Appaloosa. Tier can't play Unchained, struggles to out it as well, especially when you have like at least 1 battle protecting card. It's just really good. Dempsey over Artorias any day of the week, bro. We only deal with Chads. We only deal with anything. So of course, Dempsey. Then we're playing the double Angelica. Of course, you have played double Angelica. Lists that play one Angelica are crazy. You need to play it. Like, what are you doing? And then we play the one Roland. Of course, you can play second Roland if you want. I decided to go back on High Lonzelin post thing because Unicorn's not ripping cards from our extra deck, so I thought that High Lonzelin is really good. I also just like love this card, and it has the secret ability, which literally says if this card destroys a monster by battle and sent to graveyard, you can add a Noble Knight or Noble Army Equip spell from your deck to your hand. So it's like, you know, and then it technically works under Droll as well, where like you can synchro make this guy, and then he can get Joyas directly equipped onto him and then add a card back. So he's good follow up as well. And then we play the one Charles. Of course, Charles is like the boss monster. You can play two. Technically, the two did come up, but if you play two Charles, I would suggest you play two Roland so you can make a lot more plays. And then the one Baron, because like this card's a boss monster. You can just soup up a Baron and just play through it. A lot of my combos I was ending on Baron, and then I'll just tag up. But moving on quickly to the side deck, guys. So we are playing our double Cosmic Cyclone plus Heavy Feather Duster, or Harpy's Feather Duster, sorry. I still think this is just crazy. Cyclone's really good for anti-spell, things of that nature, other back row decks, problematic cards as well. So Cyclone's really good. I never played it like Labyrinth or anything, but again, you just always want it. And Feather Duster is crazy against Rescue Ace, right? So you just Rescue Ace, pop everything. That's why Lightning Storm's good as well. I'm just not on those cards currently. I just wanted to test like a different thing. Every week I try to test new cards. And then again, FTK. There's a lot of branded running around at my locals. Branded. I want to be ready for tier element as well, or tier limit as well, which is like a really bad matchup for this deck. So I just wanted to make sure I had cards for that. So again, D-Barrier, more FTK. I mean, Sword Soul as well. I think there's like one Sword Soul player. But yeah, D-Barrier is just like D-Barrier, right? Like the card has to get banned. If I had Thrust, I would probably be playing one D-Barrier, one Duster. But I don't have Thrust. So you know what I mean. And then triple DD Crow. So this was something I wanted to play last format, or last week, sorry. I was on Retaliating Sea, what is it, whatever, before I was on instead, right? There you go, that's the word. I don't know what's going on, but DD Crow's crazy. Reason one, Unchained, you hit the dog, you hit the Yama. You can play around like that, and then you can kind of choose your resources, especially against good Unchained players. It forces them in awkward spots. And then unexperienced Unchained players basing FTK. Against purely, this card is really good. You guys probably don't believe me. The reason for it is that you just don't care about anything else, but when they go pure Lily, affect a target to like whatever, you just crow it, and then they just are ended in like a really weird spot. So they're forced to do a lot of weird things. Then I got triple Nibiru, the Rock, the Primal. What's up, Primals, baby? Shout out to the Liver King. So we got our triple Rock. He could be in the main deck over Book of Moons, but I don't really care. And then we have triple Droll. Droll went crazy for me, of course. Droll's back in the format. Look at these, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. I wish they were high rated though. But we have triple Droll and Lockbird as well. So if you guys can see, my post side gets a little stupid. The reason for that is like I have so many tech cards and whatever. So I have like Book of Moons, I have Talents, I have Ash Blossoms, I have Imperms. You know what I mean? So I have all of these cards as my go second. So post side, again, because the format's like kind of out in the open, we have like anything we need to play with. And then quickly I'll get into my matchups. So my matchups were as follows. So round one, I played Purely. Purely was really good for me because DD Crow went stupid. DD Crow being able to stop it went really well. And then round two, I think it was Gold Pride Puncture. That was my only loss. And the reason why I lost that is because I had Droll in my hand, so I wanted to do like Appaloosa Droll and just pass. I had full combo. I could have easily comboed. I was like, no, like I want to do it, and then I ended up losing. And again, because I'm playing a combo deck, the game ones are really dice roll line, so it does suck. But he wins that, and then I end up losing. And then round three, I played against Unchained. Game one, he like set up a board. I Talents took a Caesar, and I just OTK'd him. And then game two, I Nib Crowed him, so he can play. So again, like I said before, theory's pretty good on that. And then my other round before that, I believe was another branded deck, and again I just killed him. And then my final round was against the branded Chimera deck. We went into time. It was really crazy. I need to remember that, like, why am I using Museum? I need to remember that, but I also need to remember that I need to push it a little faster. Also Chimera, they need a beast or a fiend monster. I was playing a little ignorant, so that's my bad. But again, that's it for my deck profile, guys. I did come second place. Hopefully next week I can bring the win to this channel as well. And then as well, guys, just one final thing is, hopefully you guys like my setup, my new setup. If you guys do, please let me know. I can do openings, things of that nature, IRL remote duels, you feel me? So anyways, guys, so guys, that was it for the video. If you guys liked the video, please go and leave a like on this video. Of course, comment what you guys want to see next. I try my best to respond to each and every single one of you guys' comments. And subscribe if you made it to the end of the video, because what are you doing if you made it to the end of the video and you are not yet subscribed? I'm just disappointed. But anyways, guys, my name is Hamza, and like I always say, keep on shining, never on your dreams. Peace.